All right. We're back. We're back with the podcast Solve for X, and we've got, I believe, just an incredible young man with us this morning that we want to introduce you to. Very popular senior at Riverside High School. Popular for a number of reasons, just a very kind human being, but someone where you can tell right away that music is a big, big part of his life. Anthony Diaz is with us this morning, and so is his grandmother, who supports him, accompanies him. Miss Monica Zubia will be with us this morning, and we're going to get to know this really remarkable young man, extraordinary young man from Riverside High School. So I want to welcome Anthony Diaz this morning and Mrs. Zubia. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Anthony, have you always lived in the Riverside High School community, in that neighborhood?
No. No, I'm actually, right now I'm actually at my grandma's house. That's where I've been for a couple of years now.
Did you grow up in the El Paso area?
Yes.
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 For those of you who are not aware, Anthony is visually impaired, has been since he was born and since birth, and has overcome, persevered, enjoys school, doing well in school.
Yes.
It's important. What's that like? I mean, what's a morning like in Anthony's life?
Well, I mean, I have to, of course, like get up and eat my food, and then I go to school, and then Mr. Urbina, the aide that's pretty much always with me when I'm at the school, will take me to my classes, and then I'll go to my mariachi classes too, where I play also. I used to play the guitarron, but now it's the harp for the mariachi.
Would you say that's your favorite time of the day when you're involved in music or performing with the mariachis at Riverside High School?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you can tell you smiled when we said that. And it's a very good mariachi group. Matter of fact, it has made it to state, competed at the state level. Your grandmother on this last trip got to accompany you and ride in the charter bus and head down to the San Antonio area so that you could compete. What was that like?
Oh yeah, that was really really nice. They had like good food. I think that was the first time for Riverside to go to state.
I think you're right. When did you start taking an interest in music and in playing instruments?
I was like 3 years old.
3?
Uh-huh.
Tell me about that.
Well, actually, the music that started sometime before that, when I think my mom was listening to something, and I kind of started humming to it a little bit. But there was this program they were called DARS. Now it's just at Texas Workforce, that they would pay for like music lessons, like for piano and stuff like that. So they got me into piano, and so I was playing the piano till I was maybe like, I think 7 or 8, and then I stopped because we moved out of El Paso to Arizona, and then when I came back, I started it again, but eventually I kind of started to not get bored of it, but like I wanted to play on some other instrument.
Oh, the piano? You kind of just started thinking about other instruments?
Uh-huh. And then at one point when I was in, I think, the 5th grade, they had one day they had like the orchestras and the band and stuff come over to forget what room it was.
Where'd you go to
The
elementary school?
Constance Holbert.
So you were at
which
Constance Holbert and the orchestra, and they came out to visit you, and
They played their instruments, and the one that I ended up liking the sound of was the bass, the upright bass. And so I asked them about it, and then the teacher actually let me like try it out and play it, and I kind of instantly I ended up liking the way it sounded. Um, and then of course after that, that's when I started getting into all these other instruments, because of we stopped taking, because during that time with the upright bass, I was still playing. I think I was still playing the piano. But then they brought in somebody that would teach like the percussion instruments, like not like drums, like the marching band kind of drums. These are like the bongos and stuff like that. Um, and she also had like African drums and stuff, which I mean I've never heard of that, a lot of that stuff, because I never knew that stuff existed. Um, I mean I kind of figured because I've heard African music, but I didn't really know what any of that stuff was.
do you think that because of your limitation in sight, it has enhanced your hearing and your ability to intuitively pick up instruments and music probably quicker than most students?
Yeah, I think so, because um, yeah, I had to learn how to play instruments by ear. So I kind of developed my ear based on that.
Yeah. So, what was he like as a little boy with music, or growing up? Was it hard for him, or was he just someone that was always in a good mood and just that was life? That's all he knew.
Yeah, he was pretty much banging on everything, pots and pans and everything. Get a wooden spoon and bang on the table and make, his noise. And
Yeah.
he had the beat. He had it in his ear already, so we'd put some music on and he would do it. Um,
You had your own bongos and Latino drums, and
right.
you liked the beat, huh?
Yeah.
And so, how many instruments do you estimate you can play today? Like, are they all string and percussion, or did you ever explore or look into horns, woodwinds, anything like that?
Oh, there. I mean, I've played I can't even tell you the amount of instruments that I played. Um, but
Half the room is full of instruments.
Of instruments, different
Yeah.
instruments, and it just
Yes.
depends on your mood.
Right?
yeah,
What's the instrument you have with you today?
this one is a traditional Mongolian instrument.
I thought it was Oriental or Asian. It looked like something that I've seen in paintings.
This is called the meronjor. Oh, you need.
My legs right there.
And it's a two-stringed instrument, but the strings are actually they're horsehair. They're not like other instruments. Like a lot of the instruments, their strings are either nylon or gut strings or steel strings, but this is actually like strands
Of horsehair?
horsehair,
Wow.
and like the tail, the horse tail. Um, yeah, it's very different because the way it's played is, I don't know if you can see, there's like a big gap
Yes.
in between the neck and the strings. That's because you don't press down. That's because you press on the side of the string. That's why I have the long nail.
Play it. Let me see what this sounds like.
The rosin on the string. What's going on?
It's got a very, very unique sound to it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
No lessons, all self-taught, huh?
Right.
Yeah, I mean YouTube, pretty much, and then Nana or somebody describing it.
So you play any number of string instruments. I've seen you play the guitarrón, which you do, I mean, effortlessly, and you're obviously a big part of and a big sound of that mariachi group that's just gotten so good over the last several years. Are you all in line to go to state again this year?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, not all the people that were there before.
They
are-
graduated?
Yeah, some of them are already graduated. But I mean, you never know. Possible. I mean,
And do you hope to continue studying music when you graduate, go to college, a university? What do you think?
I mean, as far as college goes, I mean, it depends because the type of music that I would like learn and stuff, it wouldn't be like Western music.
Oh, it's Eastern? You like the Eastern tone?
Well, like from different parts of the world. It's pretty much not just like Middle Eastern, because this is Mongolian,
Yeah.
which isn't Middle Eastern. But even though like all these instruments, these African instruments, Mongolian instruments, pretty much all over the world. I think I would want to learn all those, and hopefully even the ones that are almost gone.
Hmm.
Like I have one that it's right now it's not working, but they call it a mrube, which is a African instrument. It's like a musical bow. What it is, it almost has like a bow and arrow shape, but it's
Wow.
they put the one end of it in their mouth, and then there's one string on it that goes across, and then they strike the string, or sometimes they bow it depending on the instrument.
With internet and all of that, do you belong to like a community of musicians that are interested in experimenting with all of these global sounds, these global instruments from all over the world? No, it's just you and your passion, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of what you do,
Yeah.
what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Besides music, do you have any other hobbies or things that you like to experience?
Not really. I mean, DJing, but that's still music.
Oh, you DJ?
Yeah.
Do you have a turntable and all that, and a
Yeah,
mixing board?
The controller. It's because nowadays they don't use like the records anymore for the DJing. Now it's all off of the computer, and then also the controller, which is it's almost like the turntable but without the records.
Well, how do you interact with the computer?
Nana.
I'm the eyes.
She's
And
she's
he
the
just does a mixing.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I'll pick the music and he just works it in there.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and then she's learning too. So
Are you learning to DJ?
well,
Your grandmother's
she's-
learning to DJ.
She's kind of
Yeah.
watching, yeah.
Yeah, well, she probably taught you a lot of things, and now you get to pay it back and teach her a couple of things. You picked up any instruments yet?
No.
No?
No.
Not even the drums?
Well, the
Well, she-
bongos with him. I
The
would
bongos?
do the little bongos and the tumbadora.
Back when we still had the drum lessons, which unfortunately the DARS they kind of stopped
They stopped providing lessons?
funding for it. Sometimes they would get the whole. They would have me on I don't know, for example, like a djembe, and then they would have Nana on something, and then they would have somebody else.
I just tag along.
That's awesome. You are a testament to why we think in the district it is important to introduce all of our students to a music program in the fourth grade, which, by the way, until recently, and it still may be the majority of all school districts in El Paso, the Isleta Independent School District is the only one that makes the investment and makes sure that elementary school students are exposed to and have an access to music, even if it's at a very beginning level, so that we can discover great musicians like yourself and give you a place to, as an outlet for your passion and your interest. And then it's evolved into so much more than we could have ever imagined. We don't come out and start promoting some of the global instruments that you just described, but you took it upon yourself. You do the research. You find a way somehow to get to the Orient and purchase instruments that very few of us have ever seen, and now you're influencing your grandmother. So we're looking forward to hearing more about you and seeing you perform. I mean, I've seen you perform dozens of times with the mariachis and with other musical groups, and I'm always just fascinated at how much you're into it.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
That is your thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Folks, Anthony Diaz, we've just really enjoyed getting to introduce him and his grandmother to you all. He is, once again, another example of the special students and programs that we have in the Isleta Independent School District, and it makes everything that we do for the 34,000 students in our district both rewarding, fulfilling, and meaningful. I want to thank Anthony Diaz and his grandmother, Miss Monica. Thank you for being with us, and we look to sharing you guys with the rest of our community.
All right, thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.